Copac here, Copac Design, taking you through another SketchUp build. So this one right here, I have some notes. We're going to basically be doing something like this. You can't really see much, but that's how I draw. So it's just let's see, door on the bottom, door on the top, and then shelves. And it is 28 by 18 and about 96 inches tall. Crown molding's getting on the top. So I'm going to put my camera against the keyboard so you guys can see what I'm doing with the shortcuts, just to get an idea of how much quicker it is with the shortcuts, and also take you step by step through it. So let's get started. So you can see right here I have the SketchUp file opened, and I'm going to save it under the invoice under the client folder as guest bath built in. Save that right away because it will close and you won't be ready when it does, so make sure you save it as much as you can. Okay, so right here we have, this is how I have it set up right here. I changed all of this by going into the, I think it was in the style section. And here, and then let's drag all this over here and get set up. So that's over here in styles. You can notice you could click on different ones, or you could set them, and you can see you could edit everything, the background, how it looks, change the sky and the ground, and just make it look a lot nicer. So right out of the box, you know, SketchUp is going to have like that blue sky and the green grass, so we want to get rid of this. This looks a lot cleaner. So let's get started. So I'm just going to build a mock wall right here. It doesn't really matter what size it is, but let's just say it's, you know, 8 feet by, I don't even know, the 4 feet. And then we're just going to offset that 6 inches, so you can either do it this way, it takes a little bit longer, or you can just do rectangle. Let's see. 4 feet, come on. 8. So that's 4 by 8 right there, actually, and you can just offset that. Go out 6 inches, and then we'll just close it off so we have the wall section, and then delete. So we have that, and we can make that 96 inches. It's actually 96.5 to the top of the wall. Group that, and we'll make that wall. So now on the layers panel, you can take that wall on and off. So that's a solid group that's not going to move. Actually, let's add the floor in while we're at it. Just kind of connect something here. Okay, so we have all that. That's not going to stick to our new mesh that we're going to make because that is a group. And let's get started building this. So it's going to be 28 inches wide. My keyboard's sticking on my new MacBook Pro, it's a little annoying. And it's going to be 18 inches deep. 18, and then we'll go out here, just line it up, make sure 2 foot 4 is 24 plus 4 is 28, so we're good there. And then we could also bring this one over to here. And I would say, if the ceiling's 96.5, we don't want to go right to 96 because I'm never going to get it to stand up in there. So let's see, the crown is about 4 inches, so I could go 95 and be okay. Have enough room to tip it up. 94? I think I'll go 94. And we'll remeasure this on site, of course, before we actually build it. This is just for pricing generally right now. So let's see how we're going to do this. We want the sides to be solid plywood, so let's just build out those sides first. And that's going to be 3/4 inch material. This one is going to be, I don't have to stain the face, the right face, if you're looking over here. Or actually, I don't have to lacquer that because you won't see it. So we'll group that, make it a component, and then slide it over here. And we're also going to reverse that on, I think it's the blue axis. We'll wait until we do the shelf pinholes on that to see, because once you flip it, then this side will mock this side, but we actually want to flip this over so that this side and this side are the same. So it'll be like a mirror reflection. So let's see. I'm not sure about the toe kick on this if we're doing that. I'm guessing we probably will, so let's just go up 4 inches and we'll change that to match the existing vanity, but at least we'll have this in here for now. And then 0.75, so this will be another, basically the bottom of the cabinet that's going to stick out here. And we'll drag this out over here. And that'll be a shelf. And there's also going to be one at the way top up here. We'll probably adjust that in a minute because I think I might put something going across it. And actually all of these are going to be set in 3/4 of an inch. So let's do that right now really quick because of the face frame. So if we put that guide mark there, select all of these holding shift, and then Command 9 I have my shortcut, we can adjust these going back onto this line. So now we should have 17.25, which is 15, 16, 17, yes, 17.25. Get rid of those guides. So that will be the actual depth, and we add the face frame, and that's exactly what we want right there. and then this will actually be cut out, let's say 3.5. So I'll just connect that there, get rid of that, and you can see that did the same over here, nice and easy. And I guess we could just close that in while we're here. And we'll connect these, and some people might say you don't have to go through all this, but when I'm building something, I want to know exactly how it's going to look. So if I do a section cut right here, and I move this over, I know when I'm building it, this is how it's going to look. Because believe it or not, when you go to build it, and you put, this kick plate going all the way up, and then the shelf is in the way, you really mess yourself up, and little things like that could happen, so try to eliminate those as much as possible. So that's the bottom right there. The face frame's going to go against it. Let's see, we'll do the face frame next. So we're just going to do, let's see, connect this all the way up top. Usually face frames I'll do 1.5 inches, so offset that 1.5 inches. Then we'll delete the center. And I do the longer ones going all the way down, and I do the inside ones separate. So we'll separate those really quick. And then you could see if I double select that one, make that a group. That's actually a component. And then I'll just triple select this and delete those. Move this one over here. And then actually, this one will be a component also. I could have just copied that. I don't know why I didn't do that. Make that separate now because it's quicker than going back. Group, component, enter. And then we'll slide this guy with this over here. Triple select that, open it up, 0.75, and then same thing with this, double click the push pull. Sometimes it goes reverse, so you can just click on there. And now we have our cabinet starting to take shape. I'm going to save it again because I did a pretty good amount of work that I don't want to do again. And let's see, I have something over here actually to help with the crown. Let's see, so I'll go to here, and I have molding profiles. So this is getting a standard crown in the room, however it's going to be a cove, so we could either make that really quick or go into one. Actually, I have one right here. This one right here is pretty close. Let's see what that measures. 3 1/16. Okay, so that's pretty close to what I'm using, so I will just put that there even though it's a different profile for right now. And we will move this over on the wall over here. That's the top of the ceiling. So basically, if we get the move tool and get at this top corner right here and get that blue line going so that it's going straight down, hold down shift, line that up right here. You can see it lines up nice. We'll save that again. We will get the line tool out and make sure it snaps on the dots correctly over here. You can see my face frame is way too high over there already. It's going to intersect. Okay, so we have that. We're going to triple click on this, highlights everything. Hold down shift, double click F for follow me, and press that, triple click it, and smooth those. And we're going to triple click it and reverse the faces also. So that's in its own group. Except right here, you could see I messed something up because I was going kind of quick. So either the crown isn't square or my line wasn't square. I'm guessing my line wasn't square, so let's go back a little bit, a few steps. Oh yeah, so see what I did? I merged that wasn't against the wall like it should have been because I went diagonal somehow. So we'll just hit back and we will make sure we do it right this time. Click on that corner. See, I did that wrong again. Sometimes you just have to rotate around and do it, and it's easier. See, that snaps there, and there. And another way, if you wanted to do it, here I'll show you in a second. Actually, that's not in the group. And we'll paste that in place. I put Shift P so it pastes in place. So if you copy it and delete it, you can paste it in place and it puts it right where it was before. So we'll triple select that, and then do that, and that. So another way, actually, if you wanted to do it, let's just take this profile and delete it. Delete this, and I do Shift P for paste in place, and that puts it right back where you want it. So let's say we have that profile just deleted. An easier way to do that, if you know the height, is you could hold down Option and then get this line right here. You could paste this in where you want it, except you don't know the height of it, so you're going to have to move it up afterwards and put that there. And then do that if you wanted to, but I think it's just easier my way to do it the way that I did, because then what you have here, you can use a follow me tool, go around, but then the cabinet's not there, so let's just not do that. Okay, so we'll just paste that in place. I should have copied the whole thing, I didn't, so let's do this over again really quick. Just make sure it snaps on that axis. That's why I have the different lines you notice in the crosshair. So you notice, red is going this way, green is going this way. So if you have a black line that's going like this, that is not lined up on your axis straight. So that's nice and easy. So we will triple select that, hold down shift, double click F for follow me tool, triple select, let's group it, soften it, and reverse the faces. Save it, and then we'll go back here. And see, this is what I was talking about before. So we're going to actually make this one unique. So right click that. I think I set U as unique. So this bottom one shouldn't move. Okay, it does. So let's see. So we're going to escape out of that. Right click and do make unique. And we're going to basically drag that down. And we want the same reveal as we do over here. So we will bring that here. And then we want the actual face frame. So 1.5. If you actually enter, put like 1,5 by accident. If you put something by accident, like 1:5, it'll force close the program sometimes. So that's another reason to save it, consistently. So now we have that consistent reveal. So although the cabinet's up here, basically if you take a look at it, what we have going on is that one, when I build it, is going to be that tall. And then, the crown will line up with it right there. And I actually made this, let's see. It's 96. Just make sure I have the height right for this before we continue. So 96.5. That's the ceiling. Okay, 96.5. So I want this to be 694. I could actually, if we go over here, I could get away with making it 7'10" if I need to. So we could go 93. Actually, no, let's go 94. 94 for the overall height, so that will actually be perfect. But we want some meat to screw it to, so let's go 95. So then we can actually adjust this. I'll actually copy that and make it on its own layer, group it, and put it as crown. And just hide that so I don't have to do any of that fancy copy and paste stuff. And we will just move these down a little bit. Actually, if I do that, that's going to move that one too because they're a component, and that will move that one. So let's do this separate and move that down. And then also these two could get moved down even with that. Okay, so let's see. Oops. So now we have that. And if we take our section cut to it, which is set as Shift S, you can see what we have here. And if we do, an orthographic view, you can see that the cabinet still has all of this room to screw into it. So I still have 1 9/16 inches, so 1.5 inches, basically, to screw this crown into there, which will be assembled afterwards. So that's perfect. So I could drive that screw right through there. So that's nice. I'll just put this over here. That's bothering me. Okay, so that's all there. What we're going to do next is we're going to move this one up. So let's see for doors. How much do we want for doors? Proportionally, what would look right? 17 inches. I mean, we could go almost 20 inches actually if we need to. So how does that look? 20 inches there, and then 20 inches here. I think that looks good proportionally because it's, let's see here. Yeah, it's about, if we divide it into quarters, I think that will be okay right there. This is actually a little bit bigger, so that'll be nice. So we'll move this one up. We want 20 inches from the top of this to here, I think. Let's do 18. Let's move it up a 1/2 inch. Okay, so now the inside opening, what we have is 1'7", so 19 inches. Let's move this one. 19, that's going to be the inside opening, but actually I want to move this one. Okay, so this will go here. And then what we could do is, we'll make the shelves in a second. Let's see, this will be getting a solid piece of plywood. Move that up here. Make that even with that one. And then also up here, same thing. And we'll probably move it down 1/8 of an inch because that lip, you'll never get that even. So usually cabinet builders will do something like that because then it will shrink and everything in there. Move that one down 1/8 also. And that's another thing too, if you don't think of that in the design, you're not going to do that. You're going to go to build it and then it's going to start cracking. You're not going to get that seam sanded. You could fill it all you want and you're going to see that. So something like that will help to put in the design. And I actually moved that one from here by accident. So, you know, in that case, instead of trying to drag it down there, let's copy that one and that one. And then just hit back until that one goes where we want it. And then paste in place. And I've been saving it too, if you noticed, every once in a while. Okay, so we have those. We actually do want a back on this, so I'll adjust that later. I'll put that in separately. I'll just subtract for that when I go to build it, because that would be a lot of moving around right now. Or I'll change it after, we'll see. Okay, so I have those doors, and these are all going to be shelves. Let's see what we want to do here. That face frame, actually. What am I doing here? That should be 18. It's a little tricky when you're explaining it in person because you're trying to think of it. So let's see, I'm going to drop this back up here, which should fall out right where we want it, right there. Save that, get rid of the guides. And then let's just build the doors really quick. These are going to be regular shaker doors. So what I do here is I'm going to go right into the center, which it usually clicks on right there. And right there, which is 1'7½. I'll just make sure those are symmetrical. 1'1/2. Put in 1/2. Actually, no, what I do, never mind. I do the whole outside, and then I have 1/2 inch overlay, so 0.5. And then let's make that a group, and then open the group and isolate it. Shift H, I have it set so it hides everything except for the group that you have open. And we'll cut that in half basically, and then we'll give a 1/16, which is an 1/8 total for the reveal. So our actual door is going to be from here to the inside here, and we could get rid of these, which I could just go like that technically, or you could erase just one and then select that, and you'll notice that you have that plus the gap. So just 2 clicks, copy it, triple select it, delete it, we'll escape out of that, get rid of our guides, paste that in place, make it a group, make it a component, enter, and then we'll select this and put it side by side over here, copying it, and then an 1/8. And then we'll also go down here and do the same thing. So for this, I could find the center of the door here, it would be easier. So I'll find that little point right there, and then I'll bring this down and find that same point in the center so it will snap on nice and easy. So those are all good. And we'll go into, I'll bring this file over so you guys can see what I have set up here. These are different profiles that I use. So we have this one, and we have these. So this one is going to be what we're using. So I'll copy that and bring it over here. Just open up one of them. Paste it away from it. If you don't do that, look what's going to happen. You got to move it. It's like the whole thing. We'll move that 90 degrees. And paste that. Don't paste it right here. It's not going to work. Paste it over here somewhere. We can get rid of that technically. Triple select it. Hold down Shift, double select. Press F for Follow Me tool. Bring that around. Get the Push Pull tool. And bring this in like this, and then just delete this. But sometimes you mess it up a little bit, so let's see what we did wrong. Yeah, sometimes when you use the File Me tool, if it's out of a square or something a little bit, you can mess it up. So I think we got it down here. Okay, so that's all good. Get the back side. Alright, so now you can see, oops. Okay, so now you can see we have our shaker doors on all of those. And then we're also going to be applying a round over, so I might need a second to mess around with this, but I think what we do for this is we could just do an arc right like this, and then that could follow around if we paste it down a little bit, so we get the move tool and just copy it down here. And we'll delete this one. Let's see. Oh, you know what, actually, this is what we do. Double select that and this. So we want that to go, see what I'm trying to do, just bring that all the way around. Which you don't really have to do to show them. It's not going to make a difference, but there is a way, and I'm going to figure out that really quick. Let's see. I think I want to move that down. Oh, okay, this is how we do it, pretty sure. Nope. We could just take this and just go all the way around. Okay, that kind of worked. Let's see, I think if we take that and that, just delete this and that. Okay, there we go. I think we got it. Cool. So I messed up this side a little bit over here, but we got that to work. Sometimes all you have to do is just connect part of the line and it will close it in. So maybe just move that down a little bit, and then, oh, so that's what I did. Okay, so we'll move that down a little bit. It's because that shape is there. That one, that one. Okay, so if we double select that, that one, and then File Me tool. Okay, there we go. Just get rid of that. Okay. So there's our doors. If you need to soften the edges, you could, but then when you go to put it into a vector format, you can't really see that those are there. So I would rather not do that for now. So there's all of those, and then shelf pins. We'll see what we're gonna do. Basically, it'll be these shelves. So we'll do that, and then bring it up here. I'll just press the divided by 6 seems okay. 5 is okay. Let's do 5 for now. We'll delete one of those. Okay, so now we have those shelves, and then what we will do is probably 3/4 plus 1/8. Actually, And then what we're going to do, copy that. Let's make these all unique over here. Make unique, we'll save that, we'll open that one up. Make that a group, we'll paste that in place that I copied, and we'll go out 0.75, and then it's already 0.75, so 0.75. Could go like that, but actually what I'm thinking, because I don't want to see that seam right there, is to bring that another 0.75. No, we do want that, actually. Sometimes what people do, especially when they put lacquers, they'll put like a little edge on this right here. Bring that across. So then what you have is you have an edge there that's nice and clean. And, you know, if the paint cracks, you'll never see it. So they could do something like that. And then now you have all these shelves that are nicely organized like that. And then let's see, if you want to put shelf pins in just to explain them to them, because when you show them the pictures, they'll be like, oh, these aren't adjustable, I don't see shelf pins. So just put them in really quick. It takes 2 seconds, and that's where we want to reverse this one like I was talking about before. So let's open up this one over here. So we're going to go in 3 inches, 3 inches. I'm going to start them up about 6 inches, because who is going to put something less than 6 inches there? And then also down, let's just go 6 inches also. Then we'll get the circle tool, change the number of sides to 100. We'll start doing it on this line. Put in an eighth because it's radius, 1/8, enter. And then that means that that's a 1/4 inch. So let's copy that and then delete it because we don't want to be on the group. We want to make that separate. So let's make that a group. Paste in place, group it, component it, enter. Group it again, open the group, and put this over here. And you can see right here how it's drawing them on this side, so we want to flip this one. Okay, so we want to flip it along, I think it's the red. Nope, it's not the red, the green. Okay, so now you can see that inside is mirroring that inside. So now let's take these and say about, I forgot what the jig is that I use, the Craig jig. I think, what does it look like? An inch and a half. And we'll put times 15 times 20 times 22. Okay, so times 22 looks pretty perfect actually. So we got those. Doesn't matter, the shelves don't line up. You're not going to be viewing in there, just from the side view that you want to see. And okay, let's see. The shelf pins are not showing up on the left side though, so I've done something. Saving that really quick. It's going a little slow for some reason. Okay, oh, so they are there actually. So that's what we want. So that's pretty much the unit that we're building. For presentation wise, what I'll do is I'll select just that one thing, make it a group, and slide it over. And then you can either do different options here, or what you could do is open the door, usually about 35 degrees is good. Oops, put this and this one. I'm guessing this one too. Okay, for some reason those moved over. So let's see, let's put this. I don't want to change that one again. Save that, now I'll move it over. I just basically copied that one, pasted it in place on top of the other one. So now they're both the same. Actually, you know what, let's make this whole thing a component now, just so that in case I change something, I could see it easier. Actually, no, that's a bad idea. Never mind. And if I wanted to open the doors on that one, that means that those will open as well. 35, and we'll open this one. I have Q set as a protractor because the Q to me looks like it's kind of like a circle, which is a protractor looking shape. So that's what that is. We'll also put adjustable shelves in here, I think. Maybe not. Maybe we'll just put like one in there or something. So let's take these and slide them down. Basically just like that, so you can see on each side, those are in there now. And then we could do the same thing on the top, actually, about halfway, in case they want some shelves in there. And then we could actually do this also, just so they could see, okay, there's a shelf in there. Okay, so now we have our unit with the crown going on the top to tie it in with the 1.5" reveal here, which is consistent with this 1.5", which actually changes a little bit because of the doors, but that does look nice there. It's gonna go right up against the wall. So actually something that we're gonna do when we build it is make that one a little bit bigger. Okay, well technically actually what I wanna do, let's move it with the crown. Okay, I'm not going to do it because that's going to mess up the whole thing, but when I go to build it, I'll put a note. What you want to do with this one is make this piece right here, stick it out, and it's going to move this one too, so I'll just do it to show you a second. So let's put 1/4 inch. So now you can see, if I go with this, see how it sticks out a little bit in there? So that way, from here, from this point to here, if that wall's at a square, you have that whole angle right there that you could basically set the unit in, and it's not going to, throw the whole thing off. So we'll do that there, and we'll probably even do this edge a little bit too, because chances are it's not going to fit against the wall perfectly. And I don't want to shove caulk in there, so we'll set that edge out a little bit, and this edge out a little bit. So I want to make a note on a sticky pad for that really quick. Just so I remember to do that. And let's see if this is still here. So what I did for that is I just put a little thing right there, just circling it so I know kind of what I'm doing. That edge is sticking out and also that edge is sticking out. And when I print that out, I'll transfer that onto the layout that I'm doing also. So let's see what else we want to do here. I think we're pretty much good. We could throw some knobs on if I have some knobs in here really quick just to help presentation. I did have some. I guess I don't have them in this file anymore. No. Okay. Once it goes out, but actually, you know what? There's another thing to the bottom. I don't want to put this toe kick on here, especially in a bathroom. So we're going to get rid of that. And we're going to get rid of this. Because that looks like a stock unit, and I am not building stock units. So this right here is going to actually go down to the floor. This one's going to go to the floor also. This baseboard, we're going to do the same thing we did for the crown and get that consistent 1.5" reveal. There's actually a doorway right here, so it's only coming a few inches past that, I believe. Actually about, about this much. Probably realistically in their house, it's probably about here. But that doesn't matter too much right now. So let's see, triple select this. Which you could see I drew it in there, so that attached the component, and I kind of just messed that up. So let's just copy this and just hit back a few times. Okay, so right there. I'll just get rid of that. And we're going to paste that in place, make it a group, open that up, and just draw a line around again. Triple select that. It selects all the lines. Hold down Shift, double click it, press F for Follow Me tool. Triple select it. Soften the edges a little bit. Okay, so now what we're gonna have is basically this right here. So you're gonna have to adjust these doors a little bit. I'm gonna copy those and delete it for now, just so I know how much I have to move it. Okay, so down a quarter and then up 1.5 inches. So we really only went, well, let's just do it this way. 1.5 inches. So we're moving this up 1.25 inches. So if we paste these in place, these two will be moved up 1.25 inches. Okay, perfect. Except for some reason, I have 2 sets of doors there. I don't know what I did. Okay, that's weird. And then also this one we have to move up a little bit as well. So let's copy this. Let's see. I see what I did. I moved the whole unit up. Copy that, and move this up 1.25 inches. Get out of that. Put it in here. Paste those up. Inch and a quarter, and we'll just delete those for a second. Oh, I see what I did. Okay. See, so this has to be 1.5 inches. So you get confused with components and stuff sometimes when you don't name them right, and especially when you're explaining. So that's what happened, but that's okay. We know how to fix it. So let's just put this where it was before. Okay, so that was there, and we'll move that up 1.25 inches with this. Inch and a quarter, paste that there. So this one's, it's going to be off a little bit, but you could adjust those. I mean, chances are they're going to have them different anyway. Okay, for some reason, I'm just getting all confused over here. Okay, so we have that there, we have that there. And now at this point, let's just delete this whole unit because that's all different now. So that will be our unit. So now you can see what we have here is continuous baseboard on the bottom with the 1.5 inch reveal. So a nice built-in unit. And then this one at the top also. And then the vanity, I'm not sure if they're leaving a space or butting it right up to this, so we'll have to figure that out. So that is overall what we're going to do. So now what we could do is we could copy that whole thing, and we will open up layout. It's on my other screen. I'll drag it over in a second. Or it's frozen. Okay, so let's get that over here. This was a template that I use sometimes. That was actually the last one. So this unit is actually pretty close to this one right here. And see how the base goes all the way around. But what we're going to do is do new from template, just to get a blank slate here, I think. And let's see, 8.5 by 11. Okay, so we'll put this one over here, this one up here, this one over here. That's actually the wrong one. Just change the address for the client. Okay, so let's put this over here, and now we can go back and forth between the two. And that's just a single page right now. We're going to save this in the same spot under invoice 10, actually. We can paste this one in here. First thing we're going to do is go to styles, put that as here, and go to vector. Sometimes you got to switch between the two. And sometimes, I guess there's two of them here. I guess I pasted it twice by accident. Okay, so let's see. Just get a little view over here so they can kind of see what's going on. Basically like that. And then we'll select this box, preserve scale. So we can go over here, and then we can make this a little bit bigger for them. If we take this off now. Make that nice and big. Put this on here. Okay, so now they can kind of see what's going on over here. And we can, let's see, save that and just do little rectangles here. Actually, if you're going to do that to get even spacing, do the same thing in SketchUp and then do ×2. So now you have even rectangle squares. This is a little ugly right now, but I mean, just to get that, you know, kind of going. And if you want to, I mean, you could actually, you know, go in and like fade this stuff, but there's really no point. But if we go into fill, take off the stroke and put in white, and just go about that. That'll kind of fade it out a little bit if you wanted to. Not really necessary. Okay, so arrange, bring to front, and then what we're going to do is, let's see. There's a few things you could do. I mean, you could do a bunch of circles with callouts actually, which looks neater. So let's get rid of those and let's do a circle instead. I like these personally. It just looks a little cleaner. And let's see, go to here, and then we will basically do a bunch of like little callouts right here. So let's see. Can do so the doors. Well, you can really just do like a line and connect them, but I think what we want to do is do the start arrow with one of these circle things, and go to here, and then do that again. Just start from the top down actually. So let's say bring this one here. Show detail and bring this one here. This one here. This one here. Could actually use one more circle. But see, now it's going to move all those. So let's just. Okay, let's just do that. So we'll do this call out here. We'll do the door callout, shelf callout. I actually think I had enough, and for some reason I moved it. I could do another one in here. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to copy this same thing over here, but make it smaller. Let's save it again quick. We actually want to make it like roughly the same size as the circle. Just a little trick to help you out, because this will get confusing quick if you overlap them too much. And then take this and go down times 4 times 3 times 4. Save that really quick, because once you start messing with this, that will mess it up a little bit sometimes. And just make sure you stay inside the circle and zoom in pretty close to the details here so you can kind of see what's going on. So we have that right there, and then click on this one, and you actually want it to be in the back. You want the circle to be on top. And we'll do the range send to back. We'll select that in the circle, and then clipping mask right here. So you have that circle like that, and if you want, you can put a stroke on it, and look at that, nice and easy. So then this one too, we want the door profile. So we will, you kind of forget how big it is in the circle sometimes. And that happens. Let's see. Just get like a good view, because they're not going to be sitting here and like really get to look at it that much. So if you put these details, it just helps simplify it for them. It makes it that much easier to, show them what's going on. Okay, door profile. So if you make a clipping mask the wrong way, sometimes it will do some crazy things. See, so this is a vector. It'll get sharp. I think the output right now, if I go to document setup, is possibly low. Let's see if we get this to high. That should look nicer now. I mean, when it prints, it'll be flawless, or when you export it. This one is the shelf detail. This is where that comes into play. Look at this. Hold down shift, and you can kind of rotate it over a little bit. Clip mask, and a stroke. And it's a quicker presentation to get the point across. But you could see doing these details, you could go pretty crazy. Okay, so this one we actually want the door open. So let's bring this over, put this here, and then open up the door. Now, sometimes what you might do, what I've done before with bigger files, which is a hassle for like a whole house, for example, if you go with this and then go open with SketchUp and adjust this door because you want the view here, it's going to automatically render it, so every single image is going to look like that, basically. So let's see, we'll delete that one and just put this one here. And again, make sure that's vector. If you do hybrid, it's basically a vector, but it shows some images on it, so it's basically a vector with images on it. Okay, so we can put this one over here, roughly. We'll kind of zoom into that. Except, what did I do here? Okay, on the shelf there. So let's just move this down here. So that should update this one only now. Perfect. Clipping mask again and add the stroke to it, and then we will get this one, which is the bottom detail down here. Get that nice and close. Look at that. Perfect. Make that clipping mask, and apply that stroke. And then if you really want to, you can add some text to them after we save it. So let's just see sample text here, and that is all. Is that readable? It's at 12 for the size, so that will be fine. Just make sure we know which one goes to that. So that one, I mean, if you put it like in the center, they're gonna be like, does this one go to this one or this one? So try to make it obvious. And we'll drag this down. Actually, the box is a little bit above. It's 4, so now we have all of those. Continuous crown. Round over, I guess that's shaker doors. Let's just put this separate actually. Shaker doors, a rounded edge. You know what, actually? Let's center all that so that the formatting stays more consistent. Okay, adjustable shelving. Sometimes it doesn't let me edit them for some reason. Don't know why. Inside doors, and then base detail. Okay. So this looks pretty good. Just make that a little bit. Do that instead. See how that looks. Okay, so that looks pretty cool. So we can give that to them. This is actually going to be stained black. So we could put a little note down here. Okay, cool. So that's what we're going to do, and if we just print that really quick to see how it's going to look. Let's see how that's doing. Alright, so let's check that out. See, that wasn't too bad. It's a lot of work into it. I think I'm taking longer because I'm making the video. But basically now I can hand this to the client. That actually looks pretty good. I mean, not many contractors will do that. I'm looking at it upside down. I mean, it looks really sharp, looks really nice, professional, and now I could get the quote for it right there. So that's what it looks like. So, if you guys want to learn how to do some more things, comment below, add some tips. The best way to reach me is on Instagram. So if you search on Instagram at Kopac Design, that's Kopac Design, just like the profile. You can find me on there. Check it out. I upload stories every day with actual projects that I'm working on. So be sure to follow me there. Also subscribe to this channel. And if you guys need to email me or anything, check out my website, copacdesign.com. Feel free to text me or email me with any questions you may have or compliments, anything you want. So thanks a lot for watching, and I hope you learned something. And until next time, stay busy, be safe, and have fun. And the recording's